Good morning. It's Thursday, October 15, and this is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. The real estate market is reaping big dividends from the Barbados Welcome Stamp initiative, according to real estate giant Sir Paul Altman. Since the program officially started 2 months ago, more high-end interests have been seeking to buy local properties. He told a panel discussion during an online forum entitled High Net Worth Individuals and Families Should Consider Investing in Barbados that some of the big names in the market have been making changes to their operations.
There are some well-known names that everyone coming to Barbados knows Sandy Lane. And then they know Royal Westmoreland, they know Sugar Hill, and of course Apes Hill has been there, but is undergoing a complete redevelopment now. In fact, I drove around there yesterday and, at Apes Hill, which is under redevelopment. The product is being tweaked slightly because the sense is that the people that are coming now want to have home offices. So that's one of the things that's being built into the new designs. Larger kitchens, people want to entertain at home more. Although Barbados has some of the finest restaurants you would want to go to anywhere. So, you know, we are making slight changes, but I don't think that we have to do too much because, as I said, we are used to this type of high-end clientele.
Sir Paul also noted that some investors have been eyeing other opportunities beyond real estate.
People convert from just, when they look around, from just holidaying here and doing their remote work from here into looking for opportunities, whether it's developing houses or little communities, to getting involved in tourism directly in the hotel business, or even in some service businesses, restaurants and various other things. So those are the opportunities, the ones that are related to tourism, which is our number one industry.
The Barbados Labour Party is reporting a record increase in its membership. Word of this from President of the Young League of Socialists, Kevon Henry, who told a news conference yesterday that the number of applicants has tripled those recorded over the last 3 years.
For young people, we've been able to increase our membership, and particularly our active members, because they're members and they're still participate, where we are seeing nearly 3 times as many active members now than we had this time last year. And so what I would say in a very careful way is that as a party, our applications this year on the membership committee has exceeded what we've had in the previous 2 years combined. We've done extremely well. People are attracted to the Barbados Labour Party. People want to be a part of the Barbados Labour Party. We've gone ahead and launched a chapter at the UWI. So the youth arm does have a chapter established at UWI KFL as it stands. So that just gives you an indication of the interest and the mobilization and how people have been coming to the party and wanting to be participant in the activities of the party.
In a bid to control the alarmingly high numbers of Barbadians grappling with NCDs, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital has launched a community health worker program. The program is aimed at reducing the rate of readmissions of outpatients with diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Speaking at the launch of the initiative on Wednesday, Minister of Health Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic outlined some startling figures.
Research shows that in Barbados, 8 out of the 10 leading causes of death result from NCDs, particularly heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. We estimate that approximately 25% of our population has one NCD, either diabetes or hypertension, and in some cases, both. Furthermore, projections indicate that by the year 2025, at least 1/3 of our population will have NCD. Let that fact resonate with you for a while. Simply put, in the next 5 years, projections indicate an 8% increase in the number of Barbadians diagnosed with an NCD.
Bostic noted that more than 40 nurses will be trained as part of the program. In addition, the QEH Community Outreach Program will target 500 patients from the hospital cardiology and diabetes outpatient clinic in its first year.
These patients have been identified as having poor compliance and social challenges which negatively impact their care, resulting in repeat hospital admissions. To this end, 40 community outreach nurses are being recruited and trained and will be deployed to visit these patients in their homes. These home visits will help us learn more about these patients and the barriers which they face on their road to wellness. It will also allow for the creation of individualized care plans suited to each patient's social and healthcare needs. It is our expectation that the implementation of this program will facilitate better care transitions for vulnerable patients from hospital to the home environment, strengthen the communication between the QEH and vulnerable communities, improve adherence to health recommendations, and reduce the need for emergency and specialist services.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now. In Jamaica, 2 Defense Force soldiers were arrested after they were caught with dozens of bags of ganja. More in this report from Television Jamaica.
The St. Elizabeth Police and the Narcotics Squad from Area 3 say they mounted a spot check at gutters on the border of Manchester and St. Elizabeth around 9:30 last evening. They saw a JDF minivan and signaled it to stop, but the soldiers seemingly ignored the command of the police and continued driving. A shootout followed, resulting in the rear windshield being shattered. When it all settled, the police found 47 bags of compressed ganja in the green JDF minivan. The police have arrested the soldiers and seized the JDF vehicle.
On the international scene, the Thai government has announced an emergency decree to stem largely peaceful protests in Bangkok, including a ban on large gatherings. In a televised announcement read out by police, it said urgent measures were needed to maintain peace and order.
Thousands of Thai anti-government protesters overtook Bangkok's Democracy Monument on Wednesday in a symbolic move in their fight for democracy. Earlier in the day, they had faced off against supporters of the monarchy as political tension boils over after 3 months of demonstrations. In one corner, pro-democracy protesters repeated their calls for the departure of the Prime Minister and former junta leader Prayuth Chan-o-cha, as well as a new constitution. Thousands also marched towards Government House as crowds raised their trademark 3-finger salute inspired by the Hunger Games movie. Some protesters like Wan Usaya Unanmi travelled all the way from the city of Chiang Mai in the north.
There is no equality in our country. The economy is down. We want to do something to ensure our future survival. There's no future for us now. We can't even do business.
Just a few dozen metres away, hundreds of royalists assembled too, dressed in yellow along with members of the security forces. There was a brief fist fight, reviving fears of trouble in a country that suffered a decade of street violence before the 2014 coup. However, throughout the day, the two sides managed to largely keep apart. Leading his group of royalist supporters, Buddha Isara said protesters could demand democracy, but must not call for reforms of the monarchy.
It's their right to call for a democracy, dissolve the parliament, or ask the prime minister to step down. But they must not touch the institution.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.